Welcome to No Silver Spoons, the podcast where real leadership and real business come to life. This is Season 4, Keep Going, hosted by Beth Herman, a 5-time CEO who has managed teams from 1 to over 1,500 and personally hired more than 700 people worldwide. For the next 12 weeks, Beth will take you inside the doubts, fears, and roadblocks leaders face, and how to push through them with courage and truth. And this season isn't just a podcast. We'll be making exclusive announcements, sharing weekly digital downloads, and giving extended free training inside our free Keep Going cohorts, hosted on Good Pods and on Instagram at NoSilverspoons_podcast. These cohorts are where you'll find giveaways, resources, and opportunities you won't get anywhere else. This is the series you've been waiting for. Season 4, Keep Going. Let's begin.
Welcome back to No Silver Spoons. I'm your host, Beth Herman, and today you and I are stepping into week 12 of the Keep Going series, the final week of what has been one of the deepest, most honest, most stretching journeys I have ever taken you through as a mentor, a leader, a wife, a mother, and a woman who has had to rebuild herself more times than she can count. 12 weeks ago, you pressed play on episode 1 of this series, carrying questions, heaviness, frustration, maybe exhaustion, maybe guilt, maybe panic, maybe excitement, maybe all of it at once. And you kept going anyway, not because the circumstances were perfect, but because something inside of you whispered the same thing I heard at my own kitchen table all those years ago. Keep going. You are not finished yet. This episode is not just a closing. It's a commissioning. It is the moment where everything we built together finally settles in your bones. Over these 12 weeks, you've proved something that can't be undone. You've proved you can walk through pressure without falling apart. You've proved you can rebuild your mindset without losing your softness. And you've proved that betrayal didn't actually break you. You've proved that conviction didn't crush you. You proved that success did not make you lose yourself. And you've proved that failure didn't disqualify you. I have shared stories here that were not easy to speak aloud. Stories of sabotage, stories of being overlooked, stories of losing things I worked so hard to build, stories of being targeted, stories of being abandoned, stories of making decisions I wish I had handled differently, stories that still sting when I remember them. And while not every part of my story is something that I am proud of, I am grateful for every piece of it because I kept going. And that is what I want you to hear today, that you are not defined by the worst thing that you have lived through. You are defined by the fact that you've decided to keep going anyway. Neuroplasticity research from the National Institute of Mental Health is something that I am so passionate to read and learn about, but it also has proven that when you choose discipline over chaos, when you choose alignment over emotion, your brain literally rewires itself to operate from strength instead of fear. And you did that here, week after week, lesson after lesson, tier after tier, victory after victory. You did not change by accident. You changed because you showed up. Before we walk into anything new, we have to honor what you are leaving behind, because this has not just been some sort of leadership series you tapped into. It's been a shedding. You've shed guilt. You have shed self-abandonment. You've shed fear of being misunderstood. You have shed the need for approval. You have shed the expectation that you must shrink to be accepted. And yes, you have shed versions of yourself that were once necessary. That version of yourself walked you through trauma, protected you, helped you survive. But that version of you cannot lead you where you're going right now. Berkeley's Greater Good Science Center, it tells us that people who release outdated internal narratives experience higher levels of purpose, higher levels of clarity and emotional resilience. Scripture actually teaches the same thing. Isaiah 43 says, "Forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. This is your new thing. You are leaving behind an old identity with honor and not shame. And you are stepping into a season where nothing about you needs to be minimized. This series held so many truths that I want to bring forward just one more time. Not to rehash old stuff, but just to bring it to light for you one more time. Pressure is not a punishment. Success is heavier than people realize. Conviction will cost you things. Letting go is an act of obedience. Redemption often comes quietly. Boundaries are not anger. They are protection. You do not need applause to validate your own progress. And God has never wasted a single season in your life. We are coming to the end of a year. And if you're listening to this episode anytime throughout the year when it isn't almost the end of the current year, this could still be relevant to your life and the way that you move forward. On social media over the last few days, I have been seeing more and more posts about how people would not relive this year. They would never redo what this year has been. It has been so terrible. It has been so hard. It has been so difficult. Many other versions of that same line have been repeated over and over and over. And I think what a shame it is to think that this season of our life was just a waste, something we would never want to see again, because these are moments, this is time that we'll never get back. People that might not be in our lives next year, people that might not be in our lives next season. Moments that are fleeting so quickly that we should really enjoy for what they are. Over this series, I have shared the most painful parts of my story with you. Moments where I sat at a table crying because clients were unhappy. Moments where family members took advantage of me. Moments where sabotage left me breathless. Moments where loyalty cost me more than I ever imagined. And yes, these are all moments where I've been knocked down, like the $8,000 chargebacks that would terrify me. The moments that made my stomach twist. The times that made me think for one split second, is this situation going to break me? But every time life was hard, I made a choice to reset, regroup, prepare the documentation, reinvest into the faithfulness instead of the fear. And to this day, I've actually never lost a single chargeback. And every war I've been to, whether another party believes they won or I believe I won, I'm going to stick with the mindset that I was victorious no matter what the outcome was. Because whatever the outcome was, I truly am victorious. I truly have overcome something hard. I have learned a lesson. I've become a new person as a result of it. And I've learned to look at things that way because I honestly do things the right way, even when the right way is not easy. This part still shocks me. Every time I experience a setback, almost immediately, a new client would enroll, a new friendship would be started, a new experience would come my way, a positive impact would come into my life. Unexpected revenue would just show up, often within dollars or within moments of being the exact same opposite experience that I lost earlier that day or earlier that week. I don't think these things are coincidences. I think they're confirmation. I think that it's God saying, keep going, I'm covering this. And if He can do that for me, He can do that for you.
Hey, Keep Going fam. This isn't just a podcast, it's a community. Every week, you can download exclusive digital resources designed to help you apply what you're learning. And you'll also have access to free extended training. The best way to get the most out of this season is to join the free Keep Going cohorts, available now on Good Pods and in the Instagram broadcast channel at @nosilverspoons_podcast. As a member of the cohorts, you'll get first access to digital downloads, exclusive getaways, mentoring opportunities, and special announcements before anyone else. Don't just listen. Be a part of the conversation. Join today at dentistrysupport.com/keepgoing. All right, let's get back to the episode.
I want to talk about what your next chapter looks like. Not your next hustle, not your next obligation, not your next to-do list, your next identity. You are stepping into a season of steadiness, a season of clarity, a season where you operate with quiet authority because you finally know who you are. Behavioral psychology calls this intentional focus. Scripture calls this stewardship. The next version of you is not frantic. She's not flinching. She's not waiting for validation. She's not trying to prove her worth. She's simply aligned with God, aligned with purpose, aligned with peace. Harvard Business Review recently published research showing that leaders who operate from alignment instead of anxiety experience higher productivity, better decision-making, a lower burnout. You are walking into that version of leadership right now, a leadership approach that is rooted in clarity, faith, and calm. I want to pause and talk to you about something personal because honestly, this year has been challenging for me in ways that stretched every corner of my leadership. There were moments that I felt like my business was in a pause, moments where I was waiting for things to just fall into place, moments where I questioned whether clarity would actually come or not. But I refused to let my world become a lull. I refused to let discouragement anchor itself into my own spirit. I reminded myself that I am a money magnet, and I've told this to my clients so many times. One client in particular, I made her repeat it to herself over and over and over. And as I left her that day, she texted me at like 7 o'clock at night, and she said, "Sarah Beth, I just wanted to let you know I sold $196 worth of product." And she was so excited. And I said, "That's because you're a money magnet." And she said, "Yep, I'm a money magnet." I remind myself constantly that I attract and retain talent that changes the trajectory of my companies. I remind myself that the same God who began this work in me is faithful to complete it. And while this year carried weight, I never once have lost my gratitude. And that isn't to sound like I'm better than anyone else. It's just that when things are hard, you have to learn to pause and remember how grateful you are for every single portion of right now. Because this season is soon to be over. I've learned to love my life exactly where I am. I've learned to love my business exactly where it is. I've learned to stay grounded, steady, faithful, present. Harvard's research on cognitive resilience proves that gratitude in seasons of uncertainty actually strengthens emotional regulation. It improves your clarity. It increases your adaptability. Scripture tells us the same thing. Give thanks in all circumstances. Gratitude is not a feeling. It is a spiritual and neurological strategy. You lived that here. You learned to thank God even when it didn't make sense. Before we close this series, I want to reflect on something really special. Episode 96, the story of my BBB win and the 2-year process it took to get there. People see that award. They see the press release. They hear the applause. They do not see the 2 years of pressure behind it. How many upset clients I had to calm, how many failures I had to correct, how many employees I had to let go, how many people I had to promote, how many offices I had to do the right thing for, how many sleepless nights I had, how much revenue I had to generate just to keep building what I believed in. You see, that win did not happen because I never fell. It happened because every time I fell, I got right back up. And that's the real meaning of this entire series. Keep going. Even when it's lonely, even when it's misunderstood, even when it's heavy, even when the applause is quiet, even when no one sees the work. Keep going. Because the right things will always return to you. This week, I'm giving you one last assignment, a pay it forward moment. I want you to take the lesson from this series that changed you the most, and I want you to give it away. Share it with someone who is tired. Share it with someone who is rebuilding. Share it with someone who feels invisible. Share it with someone who's carrying something heavy all alone. Harvard research shows that when you teach a concept, your brain strengthens the neural pathway that holds it. Scripture teaches you that when you give, it is given back to you. So share it. Let someone else borrow your courage until theirs grows back. So here's what I want you to hold on to from the entire series. God never wastes pressure. He uses it to prepare you. Success will stretch you, but it will not break you. Conviction will cost you things, but it will return integrity to you. Boundaries are holy, and letting go is sacred. Redemption is real, and rebuilding is possible. You did not walk through 12 weeks of growth for absolutely nothing. You are stronger now. You are wiser now, calmer now, closer to your calling now. You kept going. You healed, you expanded, you became. And that is very, very good. As this series closes, something new is beginning. Season 5 of No Silver Spoons is coming next. A season of higher leadership, a season of spiritual depth, a season of practical strategy, a season of refinement, a season of becoming. This is not the end. This is the turning of a page. I'm proud of you, I believe in you, and I'm honored that you walked this journey with me. Keep going, keep believing, and keep becoming. I'll see you in Season 5 on the next episode.
You've been listening to No Silver Spoons Season 4, Keep Going, hosted by Beth Herman and proudly sponsored by Dentistry Support. This is a 12-week series running in real time, but whether you're joining us on day 1 or halfway through, you belong here. All of our products, resources, and opportunities remain available online, so you can follow along anytime at www.dentistrysupport.com/keepgoing. Be sure to join our free Keep Going cohorts, hosted on Good Pods groups and inside of our Instagram broadcast channel at NoSilverSpoons_podcast. Members of these cohorts get first access to digital downloads, links to free extended training, exclusive mentorship opportunities, giveaways, and notifications the moment new tools drop. These cohorts are built for leaders and business owners who want to grow with us, and they're completely free. If you'd like to sponsor a future episode of No Silver Spoons or inquire about being a guest, you'll find details on our podcast page linked in the show notes. Your journey as a leader doesn't end here. Your story isn't finished. No matter what season you're in, keep going. We'll see you next Monday.